Hello, welcome to Naya's Ethereal Epiphanies. I am outside today. I had to work at the bakery job, but I made it outside in the semi-sunlight. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is where I talk about all the things. I share my opinions. I have these ethereal epiphanies and I just talk about them with you, and then I turn them into writing pieces or vice versa. So today I want to talk about intellectual loneliness. Yesterday's video in a room, I talked about very briefly experiencing intellectual loneliness. And it's something that I've been researching for quite a long time and have been talking about, have been understanding what that means to me, how I have been experiencing it, how I want to get out of it. And so in today's video, I'm going to talk about that. And just to give you some backgrounds, intellectual loneliness is when, for example, let's say you're a comic nerd or comic geek and you're into manga and stuff like that. And just imagine you being this super geek, and then you walk into a room full of people and no one's ever heard of manga before, or no one's into comics, and you're just yeah, by the way, I know X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. And everyone in the room is what's that? What are they talking about? What? It's when you have a different view on life and things than other people, and you can't find a connection. So it's it's like you being that comic nerd at a crypto convention or you being a comic nerd at a business marketing convention, and no one knows what you're talking about. No one understands you. No one has no clue what you're talking about. That's what it's like to experience intellectual loneliness. I hope that's a good example. I did have some more before doing this video, and I probably should have wrote them down. I do today, because I said before, the memory is not memorying. So I do have some notes that I just brief bullet points that I had. But yeah, it's intellectual loneliness is just when I can't even say it's a mindset thing, because I just gave you the example of if you're a comic nerd and you go to a marketing convention, but it's not even that. It's beyond that. It's when, so I'll just give you my example. When I think of intellectual loneliness, I think of people like myself, people who love to read, right? So imagine you're someone who has a PhD. This is probably a better example. It just came to mind just now. Imagine you have a PhD in neuroscience, which I hope to have one day. And you walk into a room full of people who are garment line workers, and you're trying to network, and you're telling people what you do for work, the neuroimaging that you do in X, Y, and Z, and everyone's what? Their frontal cortex? What? Everyone's I just know how to sew. And you're just yeah, but the brain, emotions, feelings, things. And everyone's needle, thread, etc. I'm being funny, but that's what it's like. It's when you have certain intellectual pursuits, understandings, interests, etc., and you're in an environment of people who have different pursuits and interests, etc. But intellectual loneliness is it's essentially loneliness, but it's it's on the intellectual level. So you can't find people who are on the same intellectual level as you, or perhaps that share the same intellectual interests. So that is my definition of it. But I think in my notes, let me see. Okay, so that's how I think of it when I think of intellectual loneliness. But my notes, I actually have the definition here, and I'll hold up my things. I'm not looking down instead of talking to you guys. Okay, so The definition of intellectual loneliness is the sense of. By the way, y'all, I tell you, I'm dyslexic, so me coming on here and like reading something is tough for me. But I'm trying to work through it. Okay, so work through it with me. One thing that's helped me. Sorry for the side note. One thing that's helped me with my dyslexia is like my teacher taught me this when I was younger. By the way, no one ever told me that I was dyslexic until my last year of high school. Why am I whispering? One of my teachers was like, "It's okay, buddy. I know you're different like me, and you also can't read very well." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "You can't read without your finger," and I was like, I didn't even notice I did that, but like, I learned that from a teacher from when I was like in elementary school who taught me how to do that because I would like mix up the whole sentence, like dyslexia. And so, sorry, like just a little bit of a like tangent there, but like, yeah. So till this day, as a very grown woman, when I read, I use my finger, or if I'm on the computer, I use a mouse. And then when I count, I use my fingers, like, because I also have dyscalculia. Like, that's a whole other thing, but yeah. Anyway, so if you see me like this, it's because if I don't use my finger to point at the exact word, then I don't really know. Like, my brain says it, this is how it looks, and then I come back later and it's like, oh, actually, that's not what that said. So, anyway, definition is, excuse me, intellectual loneliness is the sense of isolation that arises when an individual feels that their thoughts, ideas, and intellectual pursuits are not understood or shared by those around them. Excuse me. It's the experience of being mentally out of sync with others, leading to feelings of being misunderstood and disconnected. So, I think that's on par to like what I said earlier. It's like, yeah, it's like, first of all, I feel like I have to be so careful about what I say in public about like anything related to intellectualism or intellectuals. Is intellectualism a word? I looked that up. But I say that because, sorry, you might hear the chime. It's actually quite windy. I hope that like it's not too windy, but yeah. So I have to be careful what I say because I don't want to offend anybody. But I think this definition is quite on point for what I have experienced over the past couple of years, and even now. Like the whole, it says, read it again. Individual feels that their thoughts, ideas, and intellectual pursuits are not understood or shared by those around them. So, I should have backtracked. I should have said this earlier. I'd never heard of intellectual loneliness until I had a session with the psychiatrist last year. I've met with like not dozens, but many psychiatrists and therapists over the past year and a half, roughly. And one of them had said to me, like, it sounds like you're experiencing intellectual loneliness. So I'll give you some background as to why. And then I'll go into my other points later. Because I kept walking into a room full of people that, yeah, okay, you didn't like me, X, Y, and Z, whatever. But, like, even when we were around each other, like, there was no connection. And when I even look back as to when I first arrived at that place where I was, I didn't connect with others, like right away. And it's because, and it took me like looking back at everything, thinking about everything to realize like, it's because like they were having stupid conversations. And I hate to use the word stupid, but in this video, I'm gonna use the word stupid because it was stupid conversations. Like, to me, a stupid conversation is like, oh my God, your hair is so long. Like, how long have you grown it? Like, look at your nails. Like, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm getting my nails done. Like, and you're like having a 30-minute conversation about nails? It's crazy to me. Like, that to me is like, I get like my, even now I'm feeling it right here. My chest is boiling. Like, that to me personally feels like stupidity. So when I'm in spaces or environments with people, like, I can't think of the quote right now. I think it goes like, stupid people talk about other people and things, meaning like material things, and intelligent people talk about, oh my God, I forgot the quote. Like, intelligent people talk about events and philosophy. I'm forgetting the exact, I actually used to use this all the time, but like that, like, I can't even, like, it's so hard to express what I was going through. But like, yeah, basically I was in an environment with people that, like, I don't want to call them stupid. But like the conversations were just not intelligent. Like, I think it's totally cool to talk about like weight loss and keeping your weight down, eating healthy and X, Y, and Z. Like that's right. Like that makes sense. But like, for me, like, for you to be so stuck on like material possessions, physical appearance, and that's all you talk about, or even you're talking about conspiracy theories, and fine, if you feel like there's a conspiracy theory that like you feel like is legit because you've researched and you have legit evidence, or like, what, that's a conversation, that's an intellectual conversation, right, in my opinion. But when you're talking about like edges and wheeze and this and not, that's me using it, it's not what actually happened, but like, that's so crazy to me. Like, that's like, I do not do well in those type of environments. I just don't. I really don't. Sorry, my thing is locking up on me. All right, bad. My little handy dandy notes. I don't think I need it right now. Oh, I should have went over these points. I'll do that later. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's what I was experiencing, and it was like, that was, when I'm around those type of environments, like, the thing is, when I'm around those type of environments, or those type of people, or in those environments, like, I shut down. Like, that's not relatable to me. Like, that is stupidity to me. To me personally. Like, to me, if you know, like, all of the name brand things, but you don't know the different phases of the moon, that's stupidity to me. But that's just me. I've come to realize that is why I experience intellectual loneliness. And that's why sometimes I don't connect well with others, because like, and I don't know if I can say this because this camera's here that probably recording what I'm saying, but like, I'm thinking about a conversation I had yesterday, and I was sitting there like, that's enticing to you? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that I would never even tell anyone those things. Like, and so like, I don't mean to say like so many times, because I know I won't edit this, like the likes and ums, but I've just come to realize, like, that is a lot of the problem with me in certain environments, is that, not even just environments, like with also, so with friends, with family, with religious communities, etc. Like, I just don't do well around people. Like, when I think about my best friendships, the best environments I've ever been in, it's people who, okay, they talk about gossip, like most people do, right? But there's a balance, right? Like, okay, you might gossip, you might talk about whatever, which I don't condone, but like, you might do that, okay, whatever. But then you also know how to have conversation about like world events, your thoughts on it, your takes on it. You can talk about science, what you've read about science. You can talk about animals. Like, to me, like, that is what I thrive in. That's what I do well in. And when I'm not in those environments, I do experience loneliness, right? Like, going back to what I said before, walking into a room nearly almost 100 people and feeling like I have no one, or just only 2 or 3 people to talk to, that was me experiencing intellectual loneliness. And even out of those 3 people, only one of them I could actually have a real conversation with. What was nice is that out of those 3 people, at least one I could have a conversation with. The other one, they saw how I enjoyed those kind of conversations, and they made an effort as a friend, even though they hated reading and stuff like that. But in trying to make a connection with me, they would just look up things because they know I love birds and stuff like that. And so, like, I get a little bit obsessed over animals or whatever. So they made the effort that when we had conversations, it wasn't about people, it was not about things, it was not about materialism, it was about nature. It was about science. It was about what you read in the book. It was about productivity, etc. And those were my best friendships. Those were the ones that were enjoyable. I love being around those people. But the rest of the like 80s or so people, it was like, I was like I was very like very surface level, because like I can't open up, because like if I start speaking about certain things, you won't understand them. Or even if I do, it's like it won't be a dialogue. It would be a monologue. It would be me telling you about all the things that I know and understand and learn, and you listening, which is great if the person loves to learn about certain things. If the person's like, yeah, shut up about animals. It's like, and it's one way, it's a monologue. So yeah, okay, so like that's my little, I can go on and on, but that's my little rant about my experience with like intellectual loneliness. And one other thing I have to say as well is that like I have a lot to say about that previous environment, but even now, right, like, so I have a few day jobs. So like, oh my gosh, by the way, oh, look at the, wait a second, let me just pause this, because the background is backgrounding like this way. Okay, the sky is so beautiful right now, so just sorry, ADHD. Let me just like pause this, and I want to like shift the video so you can see the background, because it's so beautiful right now, and we have not had like a nice sunset in a while. Is that the eagle? Oh my god, oh my god, that's that. Oh my god, that's the eagle. Oh my god, I have not seen the eagle. Oh my god, wait, I'm so sorry, wait, oh my god, I have not seen, wait a second, I'm gonna cry. I just happened to look that way. It's the bald eagle again. I haven't seen the bald eagle in like a couple weeks now. And I was looking this way at like the beautiful sunset, and then it was just gliding over there. Like, okay, so just so you don't know, if you don't know, like, okay, so the bald eagle used to come sit over here on the tree that we have here. It's not my house, but on the tree that's over here, because well, right now it's like ice where the lake is, but we have plenty of fish right here. And so the bald eagle, like 8 o'clock in the morning sharp, around that time, we used to like sit over there and then like scoop down, wait, and get the fish. And so I haven't seen the bald eagle in a while. I think I did another video where it was the osprey was over there. I thought it was the eagle, but it wasn't. But this is definitely the eagle. It had full white head. And okay, it's gone now, but like I'm so happy to see it again. Like, I'm so happy to see it again. Okay. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I haven't seen the deer in a while, so I feel like sad about not seeing the deer. I haven't seen the bear in a while. And like the blue jays are always around here, even though they haven't been out too much recently because it's getting really cold. But it's really cool to see the bald eagle. It's really far. Like over there is like the forest and trail. And it's kind of far now to like even try to like get it on camera. Even when it was here on this tree all the time, I would like wake up early and I would try to like videotape it. And like I have like, maybe in a future video I'll add it. I have like one video and one picture, and I was pretty close to it, but like I have an iPhone X, which is pretty old, and I wasn't able to capture it very well. But yeah, I'm so sorry. I just like, I feel so good seeing the eagle. Like, I miss you, sir or ma'am. Like, it's an honor to see you in person. Anyway, sorry. Okay, I know. Okay, sorry. Let me just pause and then shift the camera so that you can see the back. You can see a little bit right now, the sunset a little bit, but I'm just gonna shift the camera so you can see it as it goes down. And I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay, so I am so sorry because by the time that by the time that I had got up, tried to reposition the camera, went to the bathroom, had some water, was choking a little bit, also tried to warm up for like 2 minutes, literally just 2 minutes. By the time I came back, like the sunset was gone. So I'm so sorry. And yeah, like now I probably have like 10 more minutes to do this video because I hate that, like, okay, let me just do that because like what happens is that like when it gets too dark, like I get like a 5 o'clock shadow. Like it doesn't matter where I am, it's like here, just like 5 o'clock shadow. So anyway, let me see if I could turn up the brightness of my phone. See. Okay, that is a little bit of something, a tiny bit of something. There goes the eagle again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm so excited about the eagle. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I'm so obsessed. That thing was almost extinct. So to be like the honor to like see it in person is just like phenomenal to me. But anyway, here goes the 5 o'clock shadow going. Like, what do I do? Seriously. You know what? Any of y'all want to send me $20 to get to buy one of those like ring camera things? Because like I feel like a little bit, my confidence has gone down, but I feel like a little bit like conscious about like it looks weird to me on camera. Like it's like I have a 5 o'clock shadow. Anyway, so just to finish up what I was saying earlier, I was saying that I was talking about many day jobs, right? And I'm watching for the eagle to come back over here. Oh, it's flying again. Please come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Okay, it went the other way. Here it goes again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Those wings are massive too. Its wings are massive. Humongous. Bigger than a geese wings. Okay, anyway, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. Don't mind me. If you're new here, don't mind me. So anyway, I was saying I have more than one day job, and at one of the day jobs, like, there's so much gossiping that goes on, and like it frustrates me. Like I just like, there's one person who's like quite a not so nice person, and so because of that I wanted to quit early on, and then now that person's doing better and they're improving, the gossiping, like I can't take it. Like that's where I feel the intellectual loneliness at work. Is that like I would love to talk about like baking and like how did you learn this, and like what temperature does the bread need to be at for X, Y, and Z, and like, you know, like the baking cookies part, like what temperature and like what goes into, like I would love to talk about that, not about like, oh, what did you hear that so and so did, like that frustrates me. It literally frustrates me, and it's like, okay, now that you know, like in offices, like sometimes they say like the cancer of the group. I kind of hate that term. I have to find something else because I really hate when people say that. But now that the cancer of the group has gotten better, it's like, okay, like this is the new thing. It's like gossiping about everyone, and it's like it's stupidity to me. It's stupid. I cannot take it. I cannot take it. Let's talk about anything else in my 5 o'clock shadow. Let's talk about anything else but other people. Talk about your life. What were you doing before this job? How do you see the world today? Something. But and actually, that reminds me, I have to do another video on like small minds, because I've come to realize like there's a connection between like small minds and my intellectual loneliness, and me being around small minds contributing to my intellectual loneliness. Okay, so gonna stop there, but like, yeah, that's what I've been going through at work. It's like it's frustrating. It's like, you have anything else to talk about? It's like, you got to talk about other people. Like, now that this person's doing better, you have to find something else to talk about, and what you talk about is other people, and you're creating. I'm hope I'm using the right word. Dissension within the team, and you're creating division within the team. It's like, it's not necessary. Like, you don't have to. Like, we're all okay until you come in and then spreading the gossip and talking about X, Y, and Z. I just, again, stupidity to me. So anyway, from my notes, because like I guess it's gonna get dark in the next like 10 minutes. So I want to go into this what I've written down, okay, for my notes for this video. So now that I've given the definition of loneliness, my experiences with loneliness, that's really like the baseline of it. I have a lot more to say, but I need to like, that needs to be something that I think about carefully before I say it and publicly. But I hope you guys got the gist of it. But I want to talk about why intellectual loneliness happens. Okay, so it happens from a person possessing a niche or advanced interests that aren't commonly shared, which I've gave the example, like, you know, if you're a person into like comics and you go to a marketing thing, or you are a person who is into neuroscience but you go to like, you know, maybe a conference full of like people that are into sewing or into garments, they might not understand. It also happens because of being in environments that don't value deep or stimulating conversations, like my day job. Because I guarantee you, if I start talking about the animals and the deer and the bears and the snails and you name it, and the 5 kingdoms, the 5 animal kingdoms, and what I know about it'd be crickets. It'd be like, what this girl talking about? I guarantee you that. And that's why I feel the intellectual loneliness there as well. Same as the other few environments I've experienced over the past few years. It's because I'm in a group of people, environments where people do not have stimulating conversations. It's like, let me have a conversation that doesn't stimulate my brain. Let me do whatever does not make this work. Whatever prevents this from working, that's what I'm going to talk about. And that's hard for me. And I've also come to realize there are people, this year I've just realized this, that there are people that drown themselves in non-stimulating activities because it helps them get through life. And I'm the opposite. It's like, I use stimulating activities to help me get through my trauma, to help me to get over the things that I've been through, the horrible things that I've experienced in life. I've experienced very horrific things. But I don't get through those things by drowning them out with entertainment or gossiping or non-stimulating conversations or items or things. Instead, I go, okay, to get over this trauma, to get through it, I need to understand why it happened, my part in it, others' part in it, how to prevent it in the future, how to heal from this, how to move forward from this, how to continue life although I experienced this. That's me. But I just this year realized, because I experienced a death this year, and the person who passed away right behind me while I was working. And I realized, and I hope my family's not upset about me saying this, but if they even see it, but I realized, like, this person, to get through their trauma, had just engulfed themselves in non-stimulating activities. Like, I'm not gonna think about my problems. I'm just gonna watch it away. I'll just keep listening to TV and music and gossip until I don't have to feel or think about this anymore. That's a real thing. That is, and I've been talking to people about that now, and that's a real thing that happens. People do that. I never realized that because I don't do that. I didn't really know anyone who did until I had this experience. So anyway, let me go through the next before it's really dark out here, because now you can't even see my face. Let me see. Yeah, it's really dark. Okay. So also why intellectual loneliness happens is because of experiencing self-censorship to avoid being perceived as a know-it-all. Okay, sorry. Oh my god. I didn't even realize I wrote that. Because that is so funny. That is so funny that I sometimes when I do these videos, I do my bullet points way ahead of time and stuff like that. And then I just like before I do them, I just like see like, okay, what's the easiest thing to talk about? And oh my god, okay, let me just, because it's getting dark and it's cold and this blanket's not keeping me too warm. Okay. Why it happens. Okay, let me say it again. Excuse me. It happens, intellectual loneliness happens because of experiencing self-censorship to avoid being perceived as a know-it-all. We don't got time today for me to get into this one. We really don't, because what I got to say is that, what I have to say, I'm just being funny, is that I do this. I don't want people to be like, oh, she knows everything. Who is she? She thinks she knows everything, blah, 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 blah. So I dumb myself down. I do. To make other people feel accepted, welcomed, to make them feel comfortable. I dumb myself down a lot. And I honestly, I should just say that for a whole separate video. I shouldn't get into that today, because like that is a really big thing for me. A very big thing of me, like having less intelligent conversations to make others feel better or make them feel more comfortable. And then to the point of like where I am right now, where, as I said yesterday in that video yesterday, like I don't express myself in the same way. And I feel like it's because when you are in an environment for so long of people that are not intellectuals, you don't think the same way, you don't speak the same way, even when it's a different language, right? Like the way I express myself in English, I never express myself that way in French or German or Romanian. Never, because I don't, it's hard to express. I think with Romanian, I eventually got to a certain point of learning how to express myself. But in Romanian, there's not certain words that like I can really express myself the way I can in English. And I think really English is such an expressive language besides French. Like in French too, I think I can express myself, but not the way I want to. But like, yeah, I should do a whole separate video on that, because like the sun is now going. It is not going. It is down. You can see a little bit over here. Let me see. Yeah, the sun is down. There's a little bit of, let me see. Yeah, the sun is mostly down. I tried to come out here earlier, but I couldn't. So yeah. Anyway, it's going on 40 minutes, 33 minutes actually. So I would do a new separate video on that, on experiencing self-censorship to avoid being perceived as know-it-all. Like I have so much to say on that, and I want to talk about that specifically, a full video on that, because I wonder how many other people do the same thing of like dumbing down yourself or making yourself seem or look lesser than or less intelligent to appease the comfort of others. I'm gonna, that's a separate thing, girl. Okay. So anyway, okay. So what I also wrote here is that what intellectual loneliness means for me. I mean, I think I've really kind of in this video expressed a lot, but just to like, just to go back on like my thoughts and feelings from when I was really thinking about this and writing things down. So I wrote what intellectual loneliness means for me. It means feeling misunderstood, which I feel a lot, but also many neurodivergent folks do feel misunderstood in general, which makes it challenging to connect with others. Again, as I said, at my day job, it's so funny. We have a new person, and I could tell right away, she's like really smart, very smart. And we connected right away. Everyone else, I did not connect with. I had to force a connection. So there's that. Also, I wrote experiencing social exclusion That's a whole, wait, hold on, sorry. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother video. Like maybe an hour video, okay? It means for me experiencing social exclusion, intensifying feelings of isolation. I could really go into that a lot. Okay. Also, struggling to find a support system. Okay. That resonates with my intellectual interests. I have so much more to say about these last 2 points that it can't fit in this video. It cannot fit in this video. I have a lot to say about these last 2 points. And I'm going to read it again, okay? What it means for me is experiencing social exclusion, intensifying feelings of isolation, struggling to find a support system that resonates with my intellectual interests. I have a lot, the crazy ass, a lot. I have a lot to say about those last 2 points. Anyway, this is my Ethereal Epiphany for today. This was me like just talking everything out. And as I said, when I do these sometimes, if I do not write about it already, then I just take this like audio, transcribe it, and like turn it into like a very nice formulated, like written Ethereal Epiphany. But sorry. My bad. I had a lot to drink because like I try to have a gallon of water per day just to like keep healthy. But yeah. These last 2 points are their own video, but I'll say this last because it is definitely getting cold and dark. Okay, so what I did right in my notes last is this is me saying this to you now, is that navigating intellectual loneliness, it's an ongoing journey, like for myself. That's why I said I've been going through this for a while, but so when I was doing the outline for this video, I was thinking about it. I was like, I couldn't even give advice on it, on what to do, because I'm still figuring out myself how to handle this, what to do, etc. So moving forward, while I don't have all the answers, sharing this experience is a step towards understanding and connection. And I say that because I'm hoping that, like, if you're someone like me and you've seen this video, maybe you might realize that, like, you're going through the same thing, or you have, or you are, or have in the past gone through the same thing, and you couldn't put words to it. Like, before the psychiatrist and the therapist brung these words to me, intellectual loneliness, I didn't know what it was before that. I just thought, like, maybe everyone was so different than me. Maybe I was so different. Maybe something was wrong with me. Maybe I'm just too into, like, psychology, or I'm too into science, or I'm too into, like, I have too much hyperfixations. Like, that was my thought. And I just blame myself, like I was the problem. I was the one who was too into learning, too into trying to be smarter, too into trying to be more intelligent, too into expanding my brain. Like, that's what I just told myself. And then hearing these words, intellectual loneliness, and realizing, like, oh, it's a thing. It's a thing that people go through when, because I just always assumed that, like, I did the video about Kaizen and, like, critical thinking, and I just assumed everyone also did the same thing. Everyone just thought critically. Everyone tried to do things better. And then I've learned in life, like, that's not the case. Most people don't think about how to do things better or differently. They're like bee workers. So most people are like, oh, this is how things are done, I'm gonna do it the same way. Better way? What do you mean better way? There's no better way. And I'm telling you, I feel like it's weird. Like, maybe I lived in a bubble to a certain extent, but, like, I've had all these realizations, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it is getting so cold, and I know I will go on a tangent. Now the wind is blowing. Hopefully I can block it. Now the wind is blowing. Anyway, it's dark outside now. I'm trying to keep the light on my face. It's dark outside now. I have to use the bathroom again. It's been a long day. I'm surprised I even did this video because like after work my body was in so much pain. I couldn't even move really. I was like out of it. So, but I'm happy I did this video. I hope that someone out there sees this and you're like, oh my gosh, like, is that what I've been going through? I hope that you see this and you're like, oh my gosh, I get that. I've been going through that, etc. And like, let's talk about this together. Anyway, I will go over these last 2 points in another video because like I feel like it needs its own video. So anyway, have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are. Thank you for coming back to my channel and listening to all the themes, the Ethereal Epiphanies, and have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are. And I will see you soon. If I can do a video tomorrow, I'll try to. If not, then Monday. But yeah, see you soon. Bye.